This is a flat, adjustable performance trigger from Polenar Tactical. It's made specifically for the Arex pistols, the 01, the 02 and the Alpha. Arex makes great high-quality handguns and I own a bunch of them. But as with everything, I want to tinker with it, modify it, improve it, kind of adapt it to my needs. And since Arex primarily focuses on military and law enforcement contracts, the handguns are made in that way. So they are overbuilt, they're made to last, and they are made to be very reliable. That means that all of the springs are overpowered, a lot of stuff is over-engineered, and as you can imagine, the triggers reflect that philosophy. This video was sponsored by me!
Buy stuff in our store to support our channel.
They're not bad. They have a very distinct wall and a crisp break, but the pull is quite long and the reset is atrocious. So from the time that I got my first 01 handgun, I started to tinker and design a trigger that I would prefer. This is the final result, the end product. So how does it work and why I think it's an improvement over the original trigger? My first and most important point was where this trigger breaks. Because with the original 01 and 02 handguns, when the trigger is cocked and when you press the trigger, it will break way past here. So this distance over here is important because I have medium-sized hands, and when I press the trigger you can see the position of my trigger finger. So it's way over there. For me this is not comfortable and I feel like I have more control over the trigger if I press it like this. But that means that I have to have the finger outside of the handgun and I have to unnaturally adjust it. So how we designed this trigger is that the distance where it fires is moved more forward. That means that with my grip, it's a very natural feeling to come to a point where the trigger will break. For me, this is super comfortable and I feel like I have more control over the trigger. So this instead of this. And since we're already designing a new trigger, we decided to go with the flat trigger face. This achieves two things. First one is that when you come to a point where the trigger will fire, you're at a 90-degree angle and it gives you a very nice, solid position for the trigger press. Additionally, the flat trigger just looks super cool on this handgun. Now naturally, when moving the point where trigger breaks forward, it will also move the point where trigger engages on double action forward, as you can see here. That's why we had to put an adjustment screw for the pre-travel, because without this adjustment, the trigger will move even further forward. This also allows you to remove all the slack from the double action trigger pull, so there is no excessive movement. This is the original trigger, and as you can see, the movement here is just wasteful. The second thing that I wanted to address is the over travel. So this is the movement when a trigger makes after you fire a shot. So this is unnecessary movement and not needed. On our trigger, we solved this with an adjustment screw for over travel. So as you can see here, when the trigger fires, it doesn't move any further back. Now that means that even with your stock internals, you can reduce some of the reset. To squeeze out the most performance from your 01 and 02 handguns, we also offer a short reset plate. If you use it together with our adjustable trigger, it will offer the optimal performance from your handgun. Okay, that was terrible. You can see the problem with the trigger freeze because I have to move trigger so far forward for the reset and I'm not used to it. I'll try another mag. The hits are okay. As you could see, with both of the runs, my best split was 18. That means that the trigger won't just magically make you shoot faster, but even in a course of just 10 rounds, you can already see the difference. The shorter reset and consistent trigger pull will help you improve your times.